Welcome back, everybody. This is Rodrigo with Asheville Real Estate News. Today, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. But before I even get into that, I want to remind everybody that we are having a new date and time, or sorry, not a new time, but a new date for our Asheville Real Estate News meetup. It's September the 10th, Monday, September the 10th at 5:30 p.m. at Habitat Brewing. If you haven't come out to one of these events, we'd love to see you out there. Connect with you in person and, just put some names and faces together. We have a good group of people that just connect, talk real estate, have a beer together. It works out really well. So if you haven't been, we hope to see you there soon. All right, guys. So what we're doing today is going to do a little bit of a recap. I'm going to be joined by Nolan, who you may or may not know is my, helper, assistant, dreamer. Everything that's happened here together has been built up, and he does all the back end. It makes everything look smooth, and I get to do the easy part. I just show up and talk. So we're going to have a little bit of a joint conversation today, talking about my story. We might get into his story a little bit and explain the Asheville Real Estate News podcast and video series story. A lot has happened over the last year. And I guess without further ado, we're going to jump into that. Just let us know what you think, if you have any questions or if we left anything out. Hey man, welcome to the show.
Yeah, I think I haven't officially been on since episode 8.
Something like that. Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a journey since then. Definitely some notable changes.
Speaking of episode 8, I believe we're almost at episode 60, which is kind of exciting. We've been doing this for over a year now.
Yeah, over a year now. So a lot's changed and a lot's going to change. Really excited about some of the upcoming projects and things that we have in the works to hopefully try to deliver a better product and experience for everybody who tunes in.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know a little bit of what we want to dig into today is kind of how we got to almost episode 60. This might be 59, or maybe it is 60. We don't really know yet.
Yeah.
But you want to kind of talk about how this all started?
Yeah, let's go there. So I was actually super funny. I use Microsoft OneNote a fair amount to just take notes and keep ideas and just do a brain dump, just get things out of my head so it doesn't get too loud in there. And I was looking back, and the podcast, the first notes I have around a podcast was in 2015.
Wow. Can you imagine if you'd started back then?
No, I was just like, man, I should have just started back then. But it was perfect timing when we started. Everything's been great. But this has been a long time. This has been something I've been thinking about, felt like there's a good use for it, good need for it. And, so that was 2015. Took 2 years for anything to happen, as you know. I think it was May, maybe April 2017 when the first episode was recorded. And it sucked. It was rough.
Well, I think, if you listen, I know we listen to a lot of podcasts ourselves, and if they reference the first one, everyone says they suck,
No doubt. New skill. It's hard for it to be really good. So that was a year ago. And now, we're heading into September. Another cool thing about this is a good transition time. So, I'm getting married. Probably when this comes out, it'll be this Friday.
He'll probably be honeymooning. So
might be. But it's kind of just thinking about, it's hard not to think about transitions and milestones when you're thinking about getting married. And just thinking about this whole podcast has been fun. I'm super curious to know if you have a specific favorite moment or just a moment where you're this has been a good project or a fun project to work on.
I think 9 times out of 10 I've always felt that way.
Yeah.
It's also super cool when we went to the mayor's office and did an interview with her, because that was kind of validating. Mm-hmm. And then just as we get some higher profile guests like that, it's kind of validating as well for the podcast. But then it was super exciting when I actually built the RSS feed and made it distributable as a podcast. I was super excited about that because originally it was just video form.
Right.
I don't know. I think
Spotify. I thought that was pretty cool. I use Spotify to listen on music. It was really cool to see it on there. So kudos to you for making that happen.
I don't know exactly how Spotify works. You kind of just gotta be approved from them to be on there as podcasts. So I think,
Right.
I don't know how much of that I did as far as just us being consistent with the podcast that we put out.
No doubt.
But yeah, we don't have a whole lot of listeners on Spotify according to the metrics. So if you're listening on Spotify, thank you.
thank you, Spotify listeners. Yeah. But no, on a serious note, let's dig into the journey a little bit. For anybody who's tuned in before, has a rough idea of kind of how I got to the U.S. or whatnot. I was going to do a quick recap.
Before we go there,
yes.
Before I forget, I want to know, you said the first notes you have of starting a podcast were in 2015.
Yes.
What made you want to start a podcast? What did you? I know you maybe don't know, but what did you want to talk about, or what's the thought process behind
that? Great question. Honestly, a lot of it is kind of coming to fruition that I've talked about. It was just want to create a website and build a community around it. And, the meetup group's been a great part of that. It's been so much fun to have that every month. Great format to just, talk shop. And, but no, if you look at my notes, a lot of it is hey, just want to share relevant conversations. And I think overall we've been able to do that.
I would agree.
It's been fun to have conversations with people that are in real estate that I would have never thought about were in real estate to begin with, and just hear different stories and hear different perspectives and hear different opinions. It's a good reminder that real estate is for everybody, and it affects all of us, and just depends on kind of what side of the puzzle or what side of the equation you're on. That kind of just dictates how you look at everything. So no, going back to my notes, it was just that. It was interview based, talking to people, having conversations about real estate in whatever format that played out, specific to the Asheville area. And here we are, 3+ years later, I guess.
Yeah. So on that note, I know you kind of started it, and I was just kind of there, didn't really have a whole lot to do with it, and just kind of helped out here and there, I guess, if you needed it. But I mean, you really executed on it, and were the driving force behind probably the first 12 episodes before I was hey man, I think I can really ramp up production here, kind of.
Yeah, well, I think you saw that I was struggling and kind of drowning a little bit. And it was something that you could come in and you had a really good ability to do high value add. And obviously proof's in the pudding. That's been the case.
So is there something specifically that 2017 was okay, this is the year I'm actually going to do this?
I think it was a perfect storm of everything. I think one of the things I struggled with at the beginning was just struggling to actually even know what I was doing. And not that that's really changed that much. Every time you do a transaction, I feel like I'm learning something new. And it's oh, wow. It's just a reminder how big and deep the, knowledge in real estate can go. But I think the biggest thing is just finally having better systems in place and things like that in the business that allowed me to have some time not running around my head cut off and just putting out fires all the time. I was having more systems and better procedures and having repeatable processes that I was okay, I can take time off from doing the day job to quote unquote focus on the night job gig, which this is what it was. And I stopped being involved with Creo as far as I knew that was coming,
That's true. All right, well, I'd love to kind of dig into your background too. I know your name's Rodrigo. That's probably not.
I look very Latino.
Yep, that's definitely
blonde hair
not true.
And blue eyes. No, so for those of you guys who don't know, my mom's American. My dad's Colombian. I was born in Bogota, Colombia. Colombia with an O, just in case anybody's wondering. And was born there, graduated high school in 2008. And 2008, moved to Canada. Spent a year and a half in a little town called West Guildford, Ontario. Population 10. Might be more than that, but it was small. There was no town. There was a fish and chip shack, a little, convenience store type of thing, and a laundromat.
Is there a reason you ended up there? Because I know Bogota is a huge city and there's a huge population.
So I went and did their program that's similar to Outward Bound or Knowles, different, but it was outdoor leadership-esque. And so I went there and did that at a camp. Okay. So I spent year and a half there. And then on one of the trips that we did there, we went to Bryson City and we spent 2 weeks down in Bryson City doing whitewater kayaking here in the area and hiking, and heard about Asheville and Montreat College actually. I was oh, this place is great. The the mountains. It's not super cold. There's water. I could play soccer. And so I was like, okay, I'll come here. And so after one winter in Canada, I was done. I was like, I'm not going back. I need to get out. I'm not doing another winter. It's too cold. So got here in August 2009. And I thought I was going to do the college thing. A year and a half later, it definitely proved to not be doing the college thing. And I bounced around doing, a little bit of everything. And washed dishes, peeled potatoes, was a raft guide, served tables, worked as a legal assistant, moved dirt, pretty much anything, bounced around, did whatever. And then fell into real estate by going to one of those seminars where I drank the Kool-Aid. I drank all of it and hit the slippery slope. And, that was 2012, and here we are.
So on that note, as far as getting into real estate, I'm not sure if there's a whole lot of clarity.
Yeah.
What exactly you do in real estate. I know you're not an agent. Other people might think you're an agent. I know a lot of people at the meetup group, but just who have come and haven't come to one before, or just assume kind of like everyone is an agent, which, as you know, there's a million different avenues that you can go into in real estate and not be an agent.
Yeah, no, so neither of us are agents, but we work on the investor side of things, right? Quote unquote, if you're going to say we wear that hat. We represent ourselves in any transaction that we do. That'd probably be the best way to do it, whether it's buying or selling something. We, sometimes we work with an agent selling things, and sometimes we work with an agent buying things, but we don't need to. We're very comfortable representing ourselves and, running that process through our own, support system and teams that, that we have, whether it's like attorneys or insurance companies, et cetera, like that. So that was 6 years ago. Here we are. And then a year ago, podcast came to fruition.
Yeah. So podcast came to fruition a year ago. It's about a year old now. Like we said, 60 episodes in. Is it going to make it to 120? Is it going to make it at 1,200?
Well, it's just kind of contingent if everybody keeps enjoying it. If people think we're doing a good job and sharing good things, and people keep tuning in, then we'll be here. Of course. Cool. And one of the things talking about that, we're really excited to, I think it's safe to say we can tentatively, almost officially announce the recording studio we're going to be able to be recording all of our episodes in.
Yep.
Soft start date of October 1st.
Which it is kind of like a construction thing, so probably not, I would say, just based on, the downside of construction. But that's something that I wasn't thinking about that is super exciting. So a lot of times with the episodes, we travel around just to make it convenient to get whoever on the show. But we'll be excited to kind of have an actual home base to record our podcast and up the quality and everything like that.
And if anybody wants to record their own podcast or shoot their own videos there, it is going to be open to the public as well. Don't know what that's going to really look like yet, but if you are interested in that, let us know. We've really enjoyed doing this project and want to try to help create a platform or a runway for anybody else who's kind of has something they enjoy talking about. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, anything you're passionate about is always great. I mean, someone's going to want to listen to the podcast. I know we've kind of gotten super niche sticking to Asheville, but
we have.
Like if you want to talk about beer or tomatoes or whatever on your podcast, that would be...
Somebody really should start like a very good beer podcast. I don't know if they've started it or not. It doesn't feel like there's a lot of Asheville local podcasts.
No, definitely not.
But so I think that's a good recap, or at least a very brief overview of everything. Do you have anything you want to share on your side? How did you end up, doing what you're doing here, and why?
Doing what I'm doing here as far as the podcast is a lot of just like figuring stuff out and making it work is how this show, I have no like media background or anything like that. Like I'm 20 years old. I haven't been to college. So as far as making this podcast and editing it and distributing it, has just been a lot of like trial and error, reading a lot of stuff on the internet and making things work. As far as the real estate, I kind of just knew what I did want. Or I'd say I knew what I didn't want a little bit more than what I did want. And I knew that part of that was like the financial freedom aspect and not having to say no due to limitations to certain things. And so I was just hungry for an opportunity. I read a bunch of books and met the right people and kind of got me to where I am, is what I say.
Fair enough. No, I mean, that's a good journey so far. What are you looking forward to the most as far as podcast, Asheville real estate news specifically related, when you think about where we're going?
I think kind of you touched upon it. I think like it's really exciting to build a community around it and just be like a great, reliable resource for, Asheville and the people here looking to more information on real estate, be it like North Carolina. And I know we do some broad episodes that are like countrywide.
Relatable to anybody.
Yeah,
Like and the one we did with John Heyer, which is a great episode.
Yeah. And then a lot of like local episodes, like when we talk to like county commissioners and stuff, which are all unbiased interviews. We're not like,
pushing a...
Yeah, we're not pushing like you should vote this way or anything like that. It's just spreading.
But we're hopefully, and when we do those interviews, what we're doing is basically just trying to get some kind of real estate specific questions.
Oh, 100%, yeah. And for you to, base your own opinions on it, just putting the information out there. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I just like the community aspect of growing it and having like a loyal following and just providing great content and information for people to enjoy and go off of.
Absolutely. Well, gonna wrap it up here. And thanks everybody for all the support that we have gotten over the past year as we've been building this out. Thanks for everybody who's taken the time to listen, watch, subscribe, share, etc. Thanks to everybody who's come out to our meetup groups. That's been awesome. Again, if you haven't been, we'd love to have you. It's a good time.
And if you come to the meetup group because you're listening to the podcast or watching the video, let us know because that's super exciting for us to hear. We'd love to hear that.
That's true. That is true. That's a great point. So final remarks. Recap. Recording studio coming soon. Tentatively somewhere beginning of October. So keep an eye out for that. We'll be hopefully shooting some episodes there soon. Again, if you are interested in using it, we'll probably be able to work something out for anybody who was interested in that. So just let us know. And let's see what else is happening.
Meetup group, just September only because Labor Day is on the first Monday when we normally throw it. It's going to be on the 10th. Rodrigo will not be there, but I will be. Mm-hmm. So yeah, mark your calendars for the 10th, 5:30 to 6:30 at Habitat Brewing. You can find all the information on our website, avlrealestatenews.com, or on social media. Love to see you there.
And if you're not on our newsletter, go ahead and get on it. It's nothing crazy. It's we send out one email a month, maybe maybe two emails if there's something important. Like we'll send one out this week to make sure people don't go to the wrong place or at the wrong time, wrong location, etc.
Yeah. We're not spamming. We're not trying to sell you anything. It's more for...
Yeah, the emails are super straightforward. It's just a recap of what the episodes were the previous month and whatever episodes that we have on the docket that we know you can be looking forward to. And also, this is one last thing. This is an invite for anybody. If you want to be on the show, if you know somebody who'd be a good fit for the show, do let us know. We'd love to have them on here and sit down and talk with them.
Yeah, absolutely. I know we've got a couple guests like Adam from Firelight Images from listening to the show and maybe one or two others, which is always great to have as well. So
No doubt. All right, guys. Once again, joined by Nolan today, the guy who makes it all possible. And looking forward to popping back out here next week and doing another episode. So stay tuned. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram. Let us know how we're doing on iTunes. You can also leave us a rating on Facebook and Spotify, I believe, right?
I don't think Spotify does reviews, but...
Never mind. Just Facebook, iTunes. I'd love to hear from you guys, see how we're doing, give us some feedback. And tune in next week. Take care.